Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade with the sad results of Unfinity Draft Box pre-sales. Let me just say something real quick. You'll see I have this selected as set booster boxes. For these sets like Unfinity and Double Masters 2022, where there are no set boxes, when I read the data into this tool, I go ahead and set it as set data and draft data. So I read it in twice, and I do that so that I can compare the draft box performance for these sets that do not have set boxes against set box performance of sets that have both. And the reason there is normally draft boxes are pretty boring. They don't get the good cards. They don't get the good variants. And WotC doesn't really want you to buy them unless you are drafting. When you have a set like Unfinity or Double Masters 2022 and there is no alternative, there is no set box that's available, then people are going to buy them because they are the substitution. So that's why I do it that way. The only thing to watch out for is sometimes I'll mistakenly say something like Unfinity set box, which obviously doesn't exist. But here are the TCG player sales data for the Unfinity pre-sale of draft boxes. And you can see it hit right up near 1,600 boxes by the end, including release day. And it was nice to see that it really picked up in these last couple weeks and it had accelerating sales. Now, it did this on the back of falling prices as stores panicked more and more, saw weak demand, and fire sold at a loss. Now, today you can go out and you can buy these at $96 each shipped off of TCG Player. And, you know, if you're a small store, you're buying them at unfavorable prices from the distributors, then after you sell for $96 on TCG Player today, you're going to net about $80 after fees and real shipping costs against your wholesale price of $95. So you're going to lose about $15 per box if you're that small store that's just trying to keep the lights on and get rid of all of this wave after wave after wave of product that WotC is pushing into the distribution and retail system. So now let's plot this against something else that we might say is vaguely similar. It's really hard to compare an unset with anything because they're so broadly unpopular. But Streets of New Capenna is maybe the generally most, the worst received thing in pre-sale. Because remember, people were excited about Baldur's Gate until they really saw what was in the set. So there was a time period where Baldur's Gate did well in pre-sale, but if we throw Streets of New Capenna on here with the red line, wow, you can see that Unfinity even undersold that by a decent amount, by hundreds of boxes, about 400 boxes during each of their respective pre-sale periods, and Streets of New Capenna managed to sell those extra boxes at a higher price. Now keep in mind, these are truly set boxes of Streets of New Capenna compared to Unfinity. These are draft boxes, so they do exist at a lower price point, maybe about $5, $8. But the difference between here on the plot is more akin to about $15 or so, it looks like, $15, $16. So maybe there's about an $8 real differential in price once you convert one or the other to the equivalent type of box. So you can see card stores basically capitulating on day one because unsets just are not that popular. WotC is releasing way too many sets, way too fast, pushing way too much product into the market. And this is a theme I'm going to be talking about in a lot over the next couple of weeks and probably months also. It's just WotC is draining the capitalization of the distribution and retail network by forcing them to take expansion after expansion after expansion and way too many products within every expansion. They have to take it all. WotC pushes it out to the distributors and the distributors then force it onto the retailers. And WotC just drains the capitalization in exchange for getting revenue right now. So it's an unfortunate situation, but I think we're going to see more of it in the coming months. I think the markets will all remain weak, and WotC cannot pivot fast enough to slow down without simply holding product back at their warehouse in Austin. So I think that's the situation we're in. Unfinity's poor performance is, I don't want to say it was predictable, but, you know, it's not surprising. I'll put it that way. So let me know what you think. Any other information you'd like to see? Any other good sources of data you know of that I'm missing, or other analyses you'd enjoy, or just general questions you have. Otherwise, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you think this provides $4 a month of value to you, consider joining the Patreon. Thanks a lot.